Hello and welcome to Raincheck. It's been a while. I'm sorry. Every time I come back, it's always like endless work, and yeah. But I do like doing this, so I'm gonna continue on. Hope you guys don't mind inconsistent weeks as much. But yeah. I think where we left off was when we are starting our own investigation, or not like our own, but oh no, I remember. So if you remember what happened last time, we were told by Ro that it is too dangerous for us to work anymore because it is like we're not trained to be doing this, and he is. Same with Javier. They are trained and they work for this company that does this sort of thing. And someone was shot, or Ro was shot. Fuck. I don't know why I'm like blanking on everything, but like Ro was shot. So, and they're armed. Like the gang is armed. So like it brings a whole new thing to the investigation. That like maybe that we shouldn't be here. But we're gonna be talking with Ro and Javier later about if we can still be on the team. So like I guess because it is our issue too that everything is happening because we were sent the message, even if it was by accident or whatever happened. So yeah, let's get to it. I'm like terrible at this. Day 3. Jesus. Startled awake by the loud rumble, I bolt upright and peer out the window, blinking against the bright light. My heart races, trying to calm down from the noise. What a storm. I roll over, squinting at the clock for time. A groan escapes me as I realize it's just still early hours of the morning. This is what I get for waking up so early yesterday. I lay back down, trying to get comfortable. Despite my best attempts, I don't think I'm able to filter out the thunder. Maybe I'll browse my phone to tire myself out. It's been a while since I've done that. Reaching for my phone, I open my usual app, scrolling through posts and articles. It's the typical array of mundane things, dotted with some amusing pictures. Eventually, some reposted headlines snag my attention, compelling me to glean information from them. Record high temperatures set across the world. Biodiversity of marine life record lows. More disheartening posts follow, which I choose to ignore. It's not like these are anything new these days. A soft sigh escapes me. Still, it's kinda tough to stay in the loop when everything's so depressing lately. Sounds like these days. I flip to the local news section on my app, hoping for a change of pace, but it's more of the same. Drug rates spiked in Western District. Mayor pushes forward with controversial development despite backlash. Alright, no more. This can't be good for my anxiety. Locking my phone, I set it aside, turning my gaze to the rain-soaked window, intermittently lit up by the flashes of lightning. I drape my blanket across myself and bury my face in the pillow. I don't want to just lie around though. What to do? Suddenly, the idea of visiting the garden pops into my head. I'm not sure if they're open this early, but it's worth a shot. Gradually, I climb out of bed and casually slip into some clothes before making my way to the door. It's a lot more peaceful early in the morning. I kinda like how there's nobody around. Somehow, I expected I expected it to be a bit livelier because of the convention, but I'm just not complaining. I take the same route as before to the garden, stopping at the entrance when I see how dark it is inside. I try pulling on the glass door, but it doesn't budge. Damn, it's closed. I was hoping to go in for a relaxing stroll. Just as I'm about to turn around and leave, I hear something shuffling behind me in the distance. Where could it be? Is it there? No, why would it be there? Please be here. No. The reindeer notices me and immediately dashes over. Mr. Gardner, Theodore, it's great to see you. I need your help. Hey David, good morning. What's going on? His ears flatten as he shyly backs away, his gaze fixed on the ground. I lost it. Huh? What did you lose? My car keys. I woke up this morning and realized I couldn't find my car keys. My secretary isn't going to kill me when he wakes up. He turns around and returns to his frantic search around the hallway. Did you drop them around here? The reindeer doesn't hear me as he's too busy scouring under every piece of furniture. You don't think you could help me, do you? I'm reluctant, but it's not like I have anything better to do. Sure, let's check around the halls. Maybe it's here somewhere. Roger that. I sweep my gaze across the room, searching for any possible spots where the keys might be. It's almost ironic that I'm helping him search for his keys, considering I lost my wallet just the other day. Minutes pass as we both search the halls and adjacent rooms near the garden. I don't think it's here. Where else could it be? Where did you see it last? I was here last night, taking some cool photos of the hotel and the garden with my secretary. You don't suppose you might have dropped your keys in the garden, do you? The reindeer's gaze brightens, as though he's had a sudden revelation. Oh, yeah, the garden! David's smile disappears as he gazes at the garden doors. But it looks like they're closed. The lights are off inside, and the door wouldn't budge when I tried earlier. We could ask the staff to open the door for us. You're right. Why didn't I think of that earlier? Give me one more second. He swiftly dashes down the hall, vanishing around a corner, and suddenly a sense of deja vu washes over me. How the hell does he have so much energy in there this early in the morning? A few moments elapse before I spot David, turning the corner down the hall, wearing a gleeful smile as he skips towards me. Okay, I got someone coming to help us open the door. Huh? Who? Before long, a massive polar bear appears around the corner. Oh, is that the same security guard from the other day? What was their name again? Christopher? Is something the matter? You look funny. Nothing. Just thinking about where your keys might be. The polar bear eventually approaches us, his gaze fixed on me. You. I gulp nervously and manage a forced, awkward smile back to David. Oh, why did we get all quiet? Do you two know each other? No, we don't. Okay, yeah. Sometimes I blank out like that too, especially when people are talking to me while I'm playing on my phone. Right. Anyway. The reindeer leans closer towards the polar bear, attempting to read his name badge. Mr. Christopher. Christopher's fine. Oh, Christopher. Would you please help me open these doors? I might have dropped my keys inside and the secretary's going to kill me if I don't open them. The bear grumbles to himself before pulling out a small key ring, similar to the one David had retrieved yesterday, and begins to unlock the door. You know, now that I think about it, wouldn't someone have picked up your car keys if you dropped them there? The reindeer squints back and cocks his head at my question. I don't understand. It was just last night. Right, but what about afterward? Could someone have found your keys and handed them to the front desk after you left, right? Oh! I forgot to tell you, we booked the entire garden last night for my photo shoot. Oh, wow. I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, although I didn't do it, my secretary did. Man, I wish I had a secretary that did everything for me. There were just a few of us last night until they had to close for the night. Is that all? Christopher's lingering gaze on me while he talks with David is a bit off-putting. Thank you so much. Oh, what did my dad tell me to do again? The reindeer retrieves his wallet, withdraws a $100 bill from the dozen inside, and hands it over to the polar bear. Just how much money is he carrying? There's gotta be at least $1,000 in there. What? He sounds just as surprised as I am. It's a tip. Thank you for your service, right? Don't you guys tip in your country? The reindeer turns to me, seeking confirmation. Well, I mean, yeah, but... Christopher takes the bill from David, pockets it, and then nods. The garden's not supposed to be open until later this morning. I suggest the two of you look quickly for the keys before maintenance starts. I'll be waiting outside. Okay, mister. Christopher, thank you for your help. The bear mumbles something to himself and steps inside, allowing us to pass through. The reindeer eagerly pulls the doors open and flies through, leaving me awkwardly alone with Christopher. I muster a tentative smile towards the bear, yet he counters with an icy stare, unmistakably showing his disdain for me. I wonder where David went. I only looked away for a moment. David, where did you go? I can't see a thing with all this mist. I'm over here. I follow the sound of his voice and soon spot his antlers peeking out from behind the foliage. He's kneeling over some plants on the ground, meticulously searching the soil with his paws. It should be somewhere around here. I spent most of the night in this area. Sure, I'll look over here. What do your keys look like? Oh, that's right. There's no actual keys. It's just a remote. What do you call those thingies? Key fobs? Look for a key fob with 2 R's on the middle. Okay, I'll search over here. Over the next few minutes, I thoroughly search between the plants, behind the planters, and the cracks of the floor tiles, but ultimately, I come up short. Are you sure you dropped it here? It doesn't seem to be anywhere. I don't know. David approaches from behind me, his eyes brimming with disappointment. He seems to be on the verge of tears. I couldn't find it either. Hey, it'll be okay. We still haven't searched the other side over there yet. I gesture towards the corner of the room filled with tall stem plants. Okay. The reindeer hurries ahead, and I struggle to keep up with him. He's already inspecting the plants by the time I arrive. Say, if you don't mind me asking, what were you guys doing last night? Another photo shoot for your magazine? Yeah, the photos you took looked so good, so I decided to come back for more. But did he really need to book the entire garden? My thoughts are interrupted as I catch a sight of something shiny buried within the dirt. Hey, I think I found something. Really? It's in my keys? I brush off the dirt, and both of us awkwardly fix our gaze on the shiny, rectangular pebble in the soil. Haha, false alarm. Let's go back to searching. But we searched everywhere. I've lost my keys for good. No, he isn't gonna cry, is he? That's not true. We haven't looked over on the other side yet. But we didn't go over there last night. The reindeer shakes his head sorrowfully. It's all over for me. What am I gonna tell my secretary? What am I gonna tell my dad? Even if we can't find it, most car keys these days can be started with your phone or app, right? So it's not too bad. Oh yeah, but the car is not actually mine. It's my dad's. And it's also vintage. He's going to be so mad. David kicks the dirt in a sulking manner. I'm not sure what to do in this situation. We've combed through the entire area. It'll be okay. I'm sure your dad will understand. You think so? I don't really know where it could have gone. My keys! He pulls out his key fob and waves it in front of me gleefully. I found my keys! Why am I not surprised? That's great, you... He leaps at me and envelops me in a hug, his antlers smacking against my face. Ugh. I found my keys. I thought I've lost them. I try my best to peel the reindeer off of me as he hops around ecstatically. That's good. But didn't you already check your pockets? I swear I did, but I couldn't find them. Oh well. Alright, thank you, Mr. Theodore. Don't mention it. I honestly didn't do much. You've been a big help, and I'm grateful, really. If there's anything you want, a favor, or whatever, just let me know, okay? I shake my head as politely as possible. It's fine. You seriously didn't need to. I insist. Okay, I'll think about it. Yay! When are you leaving, Mr. Theodore? Later this week. Why? Perfect. My father has to present later this evening, so I hope you can make it to the presentation, or the after party, or maybe even both. Tonight? I'm not sure if I have any plans or not. That's okay. I'm still in the main building, floors 63 to 64. Feel free to come by whenever. I can show my secretary just how cool you are. Huh? 2 floors? Yeah, the main entrance is on the 63rd floor, but my room is on the 64th floor. But I guess there's a side entrance you use on my floor. Just say you're looking for David, and show them my business card if you still have it. Oh, okay. I do, and thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Well now, that you have your keys, were you planning on going somewhere with the car? His expression changes almost instantly, as if all the energy had been drained from him. No. I wish though. I just been stuck in my room listening to my dad and his friends talk about business while I'm just on my phone. It's so boring. I want to go out. You can? I can. I really want to go to the beach to take photos, but the weather's been so lousy lately. Every time I feel I'm free to go out, it's raining or storming, or both. He points outside, and I notice that it's drizzling through the grass. Yeah, I've noticed it's been raining a lot. I've heard that it's been like that for the past few weeks. Really? That sucks. I hope I can get the chance to take some beach photos. This city has a really beautiful coastline, especially during the sunset. That does sound nice, hopefully. The weather clears up soon so I can check it out as well. It's almost like a conspiracy. What do you mean? The reindeer chuckles and starts gesturing wildly. There's someone reading my mind. Every time I want to go to the beach, they turn on the rain. At least that's how it feels to me. There's a sudden loud knock at the entrance, and I see Christopher poke his head in. Judging by your commotion, I assume you found your keys. Yeah, I found it. It was in my pocket all along. The bear shakes his head and glares at David as he beckons us out. If that's all, I'll be locking up. Okay, let's get out of here. Thank you again, Mr. Theodore. Don't mention it. I'm just glad you found your keys. Me too. Well, I'm gonna head back to my room before they notice I'm gone. See you, Mr. Theodore. Thank you too, Mr. Christopher, security guard. He scurries off, leaving me uncomfortably alone with Christopher again. I think it's time for me to go. I still got some time to kill before I'm supposed to be meeting Ro here. I could technically wait at the lobby, but I'd just be on my phone. And if that's the case, I should just chill in my room. At least there's a bed there. I sigh and flop on the bed, feeling utterly exhausted. My mind drifts back to the gardens, then to David, and finally to his father. They're technically public figures, right? I should probably check out their wiki pages if I plan to visit. Curious, I grab my phone and search for their names online. I know a few general things about the Nodal Visions, like it's a rapidly growing global company, but I'm clueless about Nodal himself. I direct myself to the wiki page on Nodal Lucas, scanning the page for anything interesting. Let's see. Early life and education. Looks pretty normal. Beside business career. Says he started manufacturing and selling AR headset blueprints in his basement. Not surprising. Sounds like someone. I gloss over the rest of the page, but nothing really catches my eye until I reach the bottom, where there's a section labeled Scandals. Victim of hacking. It's pretty and that he runs a magazine catalog, which is nothing I didn't already assume or know. My concentration begins to wane, and I couldn't suppress a yawn, making my fatigue suddenly apparent. I still have time. I can take a nap. The lobby's crowded with people now that it's closer to noon. Speaking of which, a good thing I came down early. I can use this time to grab a bite. I scan the area for a coffee shop or something, but spot a small familiar figure over by the sofas. Is that Javier? What's he doing here? And so early at that. I thought I was supposed to meet with Ro. I make my way over and spot the fox eating some kind of wrap before he notices me as well and shoots me a look. Hey, Javier, you're here early. Good morning, Theodore. I could say the same about you. His attention returns to the wrap and a phone in his paw. Before you ask, Ro went out to load the things in the car. Oh, what's going on? Where's he going? Did he not tell you? This is a contingent on how successful you are in the investigation. Unless you'd prefer to stay for the remainder of your time, I could stay with you at night. Javier clears his throat in annoyance. May I remind you, I'm the one driving, and I will not be babying you two back and forth every night, especially not to the downtown core. The wolf strikes Javier at the side with a side sneer, and it looks like they're about to argue. It's fine. I don't mind checking out early if it comes to it either. I'll get my stuff. Great. I suggest you say your goodbyes to the Grand Marine. We won't be returning except for checkout, as there might still be some use for access here, at least for now. The fox picks up his bag and starts walking towards the exit. I'll be waiting outside. I need to make room for Theodore. The attention returns back to Ro, who's looking at me sympathetically. You good? You look a bit lost. Yeah, I think I'm fine. Everything's just going a bit fast, but it should be expected, right? Yes. And what did you and Javier talk about? Well, he spoke about the contract. I look away from Ro's watchful eyes. And about you. Me? About what? I shake my head and shrug back at the wolf. He thinks I'm trying to tag along just to get in your pants. But that's not true. Ro gives a deep, hearty chuckle. Ironic, coming from him. I admit, I came off a bit strong the other day. I'm still trying to work things out. There's a gentle pat on my shoulder without Ro smiling at me. Don't worry. If anything, it was my fault for my advances. We can talk about this later. He playfully punches my shoulder, his ears perked up. For now, welcome to the team. You're in this for real. Thanks. I'll try my best. Good. You seem to have a knack for this. Now, let's get your stuff before Javier starts bitching. I hop into the back of the car. Javier is configuring the dashboard while Ro's staring out the window. Ready to go? I'd like to beat the traffic for once. Yeah. We pull out the driveway, my eyes glued to the Grand Marine towering above the street as we drive off. Guess I won't be back for a while. Now let's talk about our next steps. The items we collected so far have been mostly processed, and we can go over the findings together. How's the USB? Corrupted. No thanks to you. But luckily my phone survived. That's good. I can feel my face warm from the embarrassment. I still feel awful about what happened. I'm assuming Theodore is coming along with us tonight. Correct. He'll be extremely useful, especially with what Lawrence wants us to do. What does he want us to do? I was just about to get to that. I spoke with him earlier, and it turns out the place we're heading to later is a speakeasy, not a pub. There's been reports of suspicious dealings that involve a skeleton, and seems to be a prime hotspot for people to gather. Right, so we're going to go there to get intel about some said dealings? That's part of it. The main reason is to find someone. Who? The survivor. Exactly. And we can always use another pair of eyes scouting things around. Not to mention your eyesight is exceptional. What? Wait, survivor? What do you don't mean the survivor from the Harbor Fire? Yes, that's the one. There were sightings about them at the library. Sorry, library? That's the name of the speakeasy. What do they look like? Do we have any information on that? We don't know their species. We just know they have a noticeable burn mark on their arm and an upper body. Nothing else? No public records or anything? There are only fragments of blurred images online from old news sites, all reporting to the same thing. But in terms of official records regarding the survivor, it looks like they were all scrubbed clean. Something feels off about this, but I'm not sure what it is. I wonder what Ro is thinking. He's been awfully quiet. How do you feel about all this, Ro? It's promising, although I'm not sure how reliable this lead is. Yes, but it doesn't hurt to scout the location out, especially with our recent discoveries at the power plant. The fox doesn't say any more, instead focusing on the drive, with the ambience slowly filling the car as we stay silent. After some time, Javier turns into a familiar street where I recognize certain unique landmarks and buildings. Hey, aren't we near Dust's Cafe? Correct. I'm going to make a quick stop. I need to pick something up. The fox drives down the street and into a small empty parking lot at a few buildings down from the Puma's Brew. Stay here. This should be quick. You're not going along, Ro? The wolf shakes his head. He mentioned to me he needed to pick some supplies for investigation at Dust's Cafe. Knowing him, it's probably something mundane. Right. So, where are we going afterwards? Javier's apartment. Wait, really? I thought we were going to some facility or lab to look over the stuff we found yesterday. He does all that at his house. He says it's easier for him than having things transported to and from the office. That makes sense. Does he live far from here? No, another few minutes north from here. I look out the window, trying to visualize where that would be when I see Javier making his way back, carrying a large brown bag in his paws. Oh, he's back. He approaches my door and instinctively opens it, assisting him in taking the bag from his paws. Ugh, talk about heavy. You can set that aside on the floor. I furrow my brows as I take the bag from the struggling fox. Wait, this isn't heavy at all. What's in the bag? Curious, I decide to peer inside. What's this large, suspicious plastic bag of white powder and jars of liquid? Obviously, this is for cocaine addiction. Javier rolls his eyes at Rose teasing, clearly unamused. No, you mutt, it's baking soda. I ran out and need more to develop some Latin fingerprints. Oh, cool. What's the water for? It's ethanol, and I need it as a solvent. Only Dust can obtain such high concentrations with his food license. Drug addict and alcoholic? What happened to you, Javier? It's because I had to put up with you. The two continue their banter, as I'm just caught in the middle of it, chuckling between their remarks. We finally arrive after a couple of turns. I didn't expect Javier to live in such a rustic-looking place. He mentioned something about cheap rent on the way up, but still. The fox leads us into his unit, and stepping in, I noticed just how low everything is. Everything is neatly organized and feels like I stepped into a library with how many bookshelves there are. Huh, that's odd. I don't really smell anything in here. You can put the bag over there. The fox indicates a small table in his living room, and it's actually the only available spot to place anything. Ro enters last behind me, emphasizing just how tall he really is. If you could follow me to this room, I'd like to show you some of the findings I processed. Please do not touch anything inside. The fox guides us to a small room, where a long table is set up with various equipment and lights mounted on top. This setup almost looks like the lab rooms we passed by the power plant. Jeez. I wonder how much Javier makes to afford such a place. I captured some pictures of the area when I was infiltrating the back, just for documentation, but didn't capture anything of interest. The fox points to a laptop at the end of the table and lets out a disappointed sigh. And I've spent most of the night trying to recover the data that we captured at the server. but I haven't got much luck. It's mostly corrupted in the parts that don't contain any valuable information. How significant do you think the data would be if recovered? It depends, but after that whole ordeal, I would bet it's pretty significant if they're trying to back it up. I'm asking because we don't have any unlimited amounts of time with Theodore. If the data's significance is low, I suggest we prioritize with the other leads. Fair point. But I've already managed to process most of the other things we collected. The fox grips a small black light and uses it to illuminate the knife on the table. That very one that had been used on the snow leopard, or by the snow leopard. The sections of the knife begin taking on a ghostly blue hue. You see that glow by the hilt? That's iconic to the knives manufactured in Southeast Asia, which, may I remind you, are banned here. You don't think they smuggled that in? They definitely did. And no one smuggles just one knife. They must be importing contraband in the masses. Now, if only we knew from whom. Regardless, I succeeded in obtaining paw prints from the blade and managed to obtain a single distinct set of prints. The fox turns off the black light and guides our attention to the redacted crumpled piece of paper next to the knife. Which leads me to this. Alright, and what did you find out about it? Not much, admittedly. I'm still trying to figure out how to handle the redactions, but I have managed to lift some paw prints from this too. Did it match the ones found on the knife? Yes, almost perfectly too, but there was another set that I couldn't identify. There was mine, Rose, the snow leopards on the paper, which was expected, but there was one I couldn't obtain a clear lift, yet it's undeniably distinct. It's easily distinguishable even if the prints are somewhat obscured. We saw other people there when we were trying to save Monty. Maybe it belongs to one of them. Maybe, but I don't think a grunt would be permitted to handle something as sensitive as this, even if it was suggested to be incinerated. So, there's someone else working with the snow leopard. Someone in blackout? It's all speculation right now, but I'm hoping more will be revealed when I eventually resolve the redactions. As a side note, I couldn't find anything when I searched online for blackout, or any information connecting a snow leopard to the power plant. Hard to tell what they look like when they're wearing up that damn mask. Wait, and how do we explain what happened at the power plant? When we arrived, it looked like everyone just vanished on the spot. Javier stares intently at his laptop and nods. Yes, about that. We don't have concrete explanation right now, but I do have a strong theory. Nobody just disappears like this unless they had a good reason to. In this case, it seems like they were fleeing from something or someone. Right. And if they were that imposing already as a gang, it would have been something serious. What about the police? That is certainly a possibility, but if it were the case, it wouldn't explain why the area was just sealed off, or why there wasn't any police activity when we arrived. So, what could threaten a criminal network other than another criminal network? It's not uncommon for multiple gangs to fill the streets and have their own conflicts between them, but it certainly is alarming if so. I see. What about the sigil Lawrence showed you? What's that about? I don't know. He said it was included in the data. I requested it, but I couldn't find anything on it yet. Speaking of which, what about the data itself? You never did tell me how that was going. I admit, I only spent a few moments parsing through the data, but everything seems to be in order. Show me. I'm curious to read this over the files. Is it okay for me to ask what the data is about? The fox sighs and gestures to the room across from us. I haven't transferred it over to my laptop yet, but I suppose I can show you guys in my room. This should be fun. Rose smirks at me, but I return a puzzled look, not understanding what's being referred to. Shut it. You don't. Do you want to see or not? Javier unlocks the largest door across the hall. revealing an immaculate-looking bedroom adorned with multiple display cases, showcasing model planes. Whoa, that's a lot. How many are there? 178, to be exact. That's 4 more than the last time I came over. Please be careful when you sway your tails. These models are extremely fragile. Is this where you do your work? I point towards a table in the corner of the room, where there's a large PC set up with multiple monitors attached to the walls and table. Yes. I spend most of my time analyzing data here. What? I don't get. What I don't get is why you have 5 monitors to watch porn. The fox gives a look of disapproval at Ro. Speak for yourself. Javier hops onto his chair. Oh, that's this little guy. I'm sorry. I imagine that being cute. Javier hops onto his chair, which makes him appear even shorter than he already is, and logs onto his computer. A series of flashes appear simultaneously on his monitors, and then he clicks a sound, opening a small window containing hundreds of folders. Normally, I wouldn't be so open sharing files like this. Nonetheless, there's a folder I'd like to bring to your attention. The fox opens up the folder labeled ARC C6142. Another window pops up, but it's completely empty, causing Javier to stare blankly at the screen. Huh? Ro leans in and shakes his head, clearly perplexed by what he's seeing. What's the data file? Javier opens up a terminal, his paws flying across the keyboard as he types in a series of commands. He then shakes his head, a look of frustration crossing his face. It's missing. But C614, C614, and C614-3 are present and available. Sorry, what's missing? And what does 1 and 3 mean? C614 in the case number and the information and data gathered are organized in 2 days. So day 2 is missing. Yes, but I've never seen data just go missing. It's always deleted. Didn't Lawrence give us the data? Maybe we could ask him about it? Rose scoffs and sneers at us. Maybe we could ask him why he deleted it. Let's not jump to conclusions yet. I swore the data file was here when I decrypted it. I wonder. The fox frantically resumes typing, my eyes captivated by just how fast he can press the keys. I glance over at Ro, his attention fully absorbed by the screen, where several loading bars appear and disappear intermittently. Several moments go by before Javier finally stops and turns around to look at us. Strange. Good strange or bad strange? The last modified date for the original decrypted data was over 2 years ago. So someone deleted it and then it would appear so. Which means Lawrence couldn't have done it, even if he wanted him to, bro. Even if day 2 is gone, we still have days 1 and 3, right? Yes, we do, but they're not nearly as important. Pull them up. We don't have much of a choice now. Javier complies, and then opens the 2 folders, each containing their own respective data files. Ro and I start to skim through the contents of the files as Javier opens and expands them on his screen. So, if I understand what I read, day 1 was mainly the discovery of the fire at the harbor. Day 3 was collecting the evidence. It would appear so. Sorry, I'm still confused. Where did this information come from? I thought you guys already knew about this. This data was requested straight from the police department that conducted their own investigation at the time. The files that we have at ARC are compiled from news articles and third-party outlets. Our own research. Yes. And on the rare occasions we approved access to government documents through the Freedom of Information Act. Wait, doesn't that mean... I watched the 2 men closely, noticing their expressions change as they seemed to be figuring out something that I'm not quite grasping. How interesting. Yes, it would appear so. Ro chuckles as he sits down on Javier's bed. I'm so lost. What does this mean? I stop and stare at the two men as things click in my head. Wait, the information from the police station. And if we didn't delete it, then they must have. Correct. That is highly likely. Although, you're missing a small but crucial step. The local government mandates the release of the information to us, but it's unclear whether the government requested the police to delete it, or if the police did it on their own. I wonder why they're trying to hide the contents of Day 2. If I remember correctly, it was the day the survivor allegedly came out to make some statements. But what happened? Wouldn't we like to know? We're not sure what happened to them, or what kind of statements they made, or even what they truly look like. It sounds like there was a massive cover-up, but I don't understand why. Were they being protected, or being silenced? Those are the same questions that I have, but we need more leads. Well, looks like you have some important phone calls to make, don't you? Javier expresses his annoyance with a shake of his head. Fine. You two get out of my room. I need to focus. Ro gets up and pats me on the back, gesturing me towards the door. Please try to keep things clean. And don't even think about doing anything lewd. I'm serious. I just cleaned. Yeah. Wait. Okay. That should be a given, right? Like, not to do stuff in someone else's house. So, what's the plan now? How about some food? Ro makes his way to Javier's pantry, pulls out some bread, and throws it in a nearby toaster. I walk over and perch on a small bar stool, situated just across the kitchen counter, observing Ro as he ransacks Javier's kitchen. Are we allowed to just take food like that? Yeah. What's he gonna do? It's just toast. He makes a good point. I don't think Javier would mind, right? Okay, I'll have a slice. Ro gives me an approving grin, and waits by the toaster as he stares back at Javier's room. Well, what do you think of Javier's place? Cozy enough for you? I think we're too big. I can barely fit on the stool. That's Javier for you. Hope it doesn't matter too much, because he's most likely going to ask you to stay here with him. Oh, we need to keep an eye on you. And he's the most skeptical of you, so I wouldn't mind. I actually kinda like talking to Javier. Ro playfully laughs at me after giving me a look. You just say that in front of him. What? Why? He'll freeze up with embarrassment. Oh, would he really? He doesn't seem like the type to be embarrassed. Wait, now that I think about it, what even is Javier's type? I don't know much about him. Actually, could you tell me a bit about Javier? Interested in the fox? I roll my eyes at Ro's playful jest. Not like that. I just realized I don't know much about Javier. Or you, for that matter. How did you guys come joining to ARC? The toaster clicks and the wolf passes me a slice of toast, as he devours his in a single bite. How big is this wolf? Personally, I don't know much about Javier either. Never cared to ask. Really? But you guys work together, right? He stays out of my business, and I stay out of his. There's not much you probably don't already know. He mentioned to me before he's from Mexico. Yeah, that makes sense. I could pick up on his slight accent. Right, and as for ARC, well, I joined a couple of years ago, a few months before the harbor fiber. Javier was already working there for a couple of weeks before me. An accountant of all things. He was hired as an accountant at ARC? At least that's what people told me. What can he not do? Physical labor? It's pretty weak. Some kind of medical condition. Alright. He was struggling to carry those supplies from dust earlier. And what about you? I was hired to do investigations, mainly field work. At some point we were short on help, and I needed someone to come along with me for a case. So our boss assigned Javier with me since he was the only one available. After seeing the results we brought back, we ended up officially working together for most investigations. Wow. The damn fox surprised me. I had no idea he knew how to disable and reveal hidden cameras. It made maneuvering around a million times easier. In the end, it was because of Javier that we found out the real culprit. I wonder what Rose fieldwork was like before Javier joined up. Javier's bedroom door is open, and he peeks out, just as I'm finishing my toast, his brow raised in curiosity. It's rude to talk about things behind people's backs, especially when you're a guest at their place. I was just asking about how you and Rose first became investigation partners. Rose was telling me about how he made things easier by disabling cameras and such. I don't know why I like this sprite here. Javier's sprite. Oh, why am I not? Okay. It's like he's flabbergasted or something, or interested. Well, yes, I suppose I did make things easier. That was my intention of tagging along. Anyway, whoa, I need you to call the department. My access was apparently revoked, and I don't know the details. Alright. Ro and Javier swap places, with Javier digging around his cupboard. I see you know I haven't laid in my pantry. Feeling a bit guilty, I nod back as he sighs, trying to maintain an innocent look. Do you want some water to wash down the bread you stole from me? Or maybe some lawyer tata? Just water will be fine. He mumbles something to myself. He mumbles something to himself as he pours another cup of water. Javier takes out his phone and glances at it before looking out the window. I need to fix something downstairs. I trust you won't tear down my entire apartment when I'm gone. I smile at Javier's remark, but my expression fades as I realize he's not joking. You can count on me. He didn't mention how long he'd be gone, but I'm assuming he'll be back soon. I get up and decide to walk around the living room, the bookshelves catching my interest. I glean through his collection, reading whatever titles catch my eye. The Science of Social Engineering, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Quantum Physics for Dummies. I spend the next moments seeing if there are any books that I recognize. Nope. Looks like we have different tastes. Huh. What's this one down here? I squat down just enough so I'm able to read the title from the spine. Don Quixoto. The book seems to be badly damaged, but somehow still intact. Man, Javier sure likes to read. Oh, what do you think you're doing? I look over to see the fox dropping his package and rushing towards me, completely consumed with panic. I was just looking to see what kind of books he liked to read. The fox wedges himself between me and the bookshelf, frantically checking the condition of the books. Sorry, I don't usually have visitors. If you're interested in reading something, please let me know and I'll get it for you. I didn't touch any of the books, if that's what you're wondering. My gaze follows Javier back to the package on the floor near the door. Do you need help with that? What is it? I don't need to tell you. But if you must know, I'd rather just show you. Javier opens it with his claws, pulling out one of the large and one smaller box from within. Here, it's heavy. He passes the smaller box, he passes the smaller light box to me as he puts away the larger one. I open it and pull out some bottles of chemicals packaged in plastic. This is nidrin and methyl violet 10B. Am I saying that right? Yes. I ordered it to test for paw prints and such, since I was running out. Is that even legal? I thought ARC would have those for you. We're a private investigation firm, not a forensics firm. Although we do get subsidized for our own materials. What about the other box? What's that for? Uh, he brings the large box back into view, and I notice him shying away from it. It's a model airplane. That's cool. Does it fly? Some do, but not this one. How long do you have been collecting these? The one's in my room, almost 5 years now. Really? That's really neat. Maybe you could show me some off to me later. Sure thing. I want to ask more before, but Rose suddenly appears, looking irritated. Javier, I'm done. Well, okay. The fox looks relieved that we've changed the topic and returns to his room. Please do not disturb me while I'm in the room. I need to concentrate. You two can use my lab room's laptop to print and review some investigation reports I've prepared. How long are you going to take? May take until the investigation later this evening. Fine. And speaking of which, we should get there earlier than planned. I prefer if we could do our own search first, without Lawrence. The fox rolls his eyes and waves dismissively at Bro. Fine. So I guess we should read up on Javier's report then? Before that, I think we should give you the equipment to better prepare yourself for tonight. The wolf's eyes fixate on the bookshelf, his paws gliding along the books as if he's looking for a specific one. Wait. Javier told me not to touch his bookshelf earlier. Bro ignores me and continues browsing through his collection, clearly searching for something. There it is. He pulls out an inconspicuous book. Okay, fuck me. Inconspicuous? I'm not trying. And flips it open to the middle of the book, where it's been hollowed out with a small key card inside. What the? Are all his books like this? No, just some. Probably why he didn't want you touching it on your own. The wolf stares at the book cover and chuckles. How to be likable. Funny he would hollow this out. Ro takes the key and puts the book back, gesturing to the closet by the entrance. I follow him, and he's revealed a small safe behind a curtain of clothes. There's a small click as he opens the safe with a key card and pulls out a small black pouch. Here. What's this? I take the pouch from Ro's paw and notice a unique conjoined circular container inside. Are these contacts? Oh, do these have some kind of microscopic chip inside that lets me see through walls or something? No. Nothing that high tech, I'm afraid. These help stabilize light, meaning dark things appear brighter and bright things appear darker. You should also be resistant to being blinded by light, but these won't help you if you decide to stare at the sun. Do you guys also have these on? No. They're uncomfortable for me after a while. I figured you might benefit from this since your night vision is better than ours. Thanks. I'll try these on later. Fair enough. The wolf walks over towards Javier's lab, patting me on the shoulder as he passes me. Let's go over Javier's report. It might take a while. Wait, how long is a report? Usually 30 pages. You're joking. I wish I was. But it's insightful and I respect him enough to read all of it. Wait, here. I'll print it out for us. 30 pages can't be that bad, right? After a short wait, Bro comes back with 2 stacks of papers in each of his paws. There's no way that's 30 pages. He hands me a stack, then lounges on the sofa. 49 this time. I take a seat by the counter again, flipping through each of the pages. Jeez, how does Javier find time to document things? These are an appendix. There's even an appendix. I better hunker down and try to absorb as much of it as I can. I need to stay informed. That was the last page. That wasn't as bad as I thought. Most of the pages were filled with charts and figures. There was even a section about me, albeit short. I get up to stretch, my back aching from hunching over. My eyes strain at the clock hung across the room. 7 already? Just how long was I reading for? And when did it get so dark and quiet? I turn around and notice Ro laying still on the sofa, with some pages covering his face and one of his paws suspiciously in his pants. Ro? Yes. The wolf slowly rises, papers falling to the floor as he gets up. Oh, I thought you were asleep. No. Just resting my eyes. Did you finish reading the report? Yeah, I did. What do you think? Javier sure has a way with his words. Some of the sections flew over my head, and I was surprised he wrote a section about me. The fox is crazy with this documentation. Did you read through it? I skimmed through it. It seemed like stuff I already knew. I nod back slowly, Still trying to process what I just read. So, according to a report, there's someone that survived the harbor fire 5 years ago, and we're trying to find them as a potential lead. This person is somehow related to Cypress, and even potentially Blackout now. Yes, and it just so happens that Blackout was targeting you and Monty. There may be a lead there if we fail to find our guy. And now Skeleton is somehow involved in this. It seems to be a weak link with connecting these facts together, yes. I do want to mention something that Javier omitted in the report though. What's that? Normally, these investigations have a set of amount of funding to it, meaning once we gather enough information, we stop. But not this one. Why? Is the client rich or something? No, they're my boss. Wait, what? Your boss wants you to investigate this case because... But why? He mentioned something about how this is important to him. Regardless, since this is an internal investigation, we'll only stop until we've exhausted every possible lead. What if you guys never figure it out? Rose shrugs at my question, as if he was expecting it. Doesn't matter to me, as long as everyone's safe. Javier, though, it might drive him insane. As if on cue, Javier's door opens, and the fox steps out of his room, staring at us. See you two are reading my report. What do you think so far, Theodore? Oh, actually, I just finished. I didn't really get some of the technical decryption of stuff you use for data, but the graphs and the charts are insightful. Good. I'm glad someone appreciates the work I do. I noticed the fox's tail swing for just a second before he clears his throat. Anyway, I'm done processing the things I need to. The USB data should be ready tonight. What about the paper we found? I'll need to process that later tonight as well. If you're done, we should get ready to depart. Fine, just one moment. I need to change. Hope all goes to plan tonight. Hope? Why wouldn't it? We're not doing anything extreme tonight. At least that's what I was under the impression of. You're right. It's just that no good ever comes from when I'm working with Lawrence. I return a troubled look. I don't want to be weird, but what's wrong with Lawrence anyway? You're telling me you don't feel something off about that guy? He definitely has an ego. Ever since he joined ARC, he's been nothing but a pain up my ass. Man, when was that? A couple of months after I joined. And, and Avir told me that he had some kind of unorthodox working ethics. Yeah, he exploits his power to dig into people's records and uses it as leverage in cases and anything happens to him, if anything happens to him. Wouldn't be surprised if he did that to you. Wait, that's fucked up. But why? Insurance, why else? Wait, but that still doesn't make any sense. And how do you know all this? Because I was the one who called him out on the first time we worked together. Kid thinks he's a hotshot. His recklessness and arrogance are gonna get someone killed one day. Which is why I want you to stick by me tonight. He gently places a paw on my shoulder, his gaze filled with warmth and worry. My face heats up and I can't help but blush. Sure. The wolf notices my flustered state and places his other paw on the opposite side of my shoulder. Also, I want to apologize for being so forward with you the other day. I've been trying to work out some issues and... Issues? Is this related to when we... Yes. I look away and try my best to keep the composure. But it was also kind of my fault. Feeling uncomfortable with myself, I shake my head, slowly. There's also a lot going on in my life, and I guess I feel like I'm going to die from embarrassment before I can find the right words to express myself. We can talk about this later tonight, after we check out the library, if you're not up for it right now. Yes, please. 'Cause I'm sure you can already tell, but I'm pretty much attracted to the other me. Are you two seriously making out in my living room? Please, I don't want fluids on any of my furniture. Or fluids of any kind on my furniture. And that includes your saliva. Oh, no, we weren't. Ro and I were just. I don't want to hear it. Out, out, out. We're leaving now. Javier shoos us but towards the door. You two can continue your romantic activities after tonight's investigation, and away from my place. Thank you very much. Here it is. It's just down the block. We got here faster than I thought, though. There is practically no traffic once we cross the bridge over. That's because no one actually visits this part of town or part of the city. It's crime infested. And it's a perfect location for our guides to be hiding. You two get off first. I'm going to park across the street. Fine. I hop out and notice how quiet it is, slowly understanding what Javier meant. The rain stopped, so we'll take this time to survey the surroundings. This place is eerie. I point out to the buildings down the street. What's with the stores? They're all barred up. That means they're closed. It's to deter burglary. I don't think I've seen anything like that before. I can tell you never lived in the city before, have you? No. He sighs and shakes his head disapprovingly at me. Well, come on. I don't have all evening. He motions me to follow, and I do my best while stepping over the large puddles and cracks on the ground. So, what should we be looking for while we wait? Entry points to the library. What do you mean by that? The fox points to a large building across from the next intersection. That's where it is, the library. Do you notice anything strange about it? Strange? I stare at it for a moment, my gaze bouncing back to Javier, expecting him to tell me at any second. Oh wait, there's no entrance. Do we need to know a special code to enter this kind of speakeasy? I'm not sure. I wasn't able to find any additional information on entering this particular speakeasy online. Seems more secretive than I initially thought. And it said the person we're looking for will be here later tonight. Allegedly. So much secrecy. The fox takes out his phone and discreetly snaps a photo of the building. It would be our best interest to map out the area and look around. What about the narrow alleyway by the side? Too small for any cars to drive by, so perhaps. Ugh. This is going to make my head counting a nightmare. Head counting? We're going to need to keep track of who leaves and comes in since we have a particular target. The large wolf shows up behind us as he's staring at the library as well. Right? And it's going to be hard if we don't even know what the entrance looked like. Correct. The fox stares at Ro expectantly. Well, if you wanted to come here early, what's the plan? You see that coffee shop just across the street from the speakeasy? Theodore, why don't you go in there and try to see if you can spot anything from the inside? Javier and I will map the perimeter. We'll need this then. Javier pulls out some earpieces from before and hands me one, which I put in firmly. Okay, sounds good. The three of us walk down the street silently, and when I reach the coffee shop, I split off from the pair. Perfect. There's a vacant table by the window directly facing the library. I notice a few customers dressed in black on the other side of the store eyeing me suspiciously. I didn't feel safe out there, and I don't feel safe in here either. Maybe I should order something to better blend in. I decide to get a small cup of coffee, and I keep an eye on the window. After a short wait, it's ready for pickup, and I hurry to seat myself. Okay, I see you guys. I'm by the window. I see the two quickly glance over at me before they go back to inspecting the building. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought the building was an actual library with how it's designed. There's a fire escape by the side of the alleyway. Maybe you guys can check out that? It looks like it goes all the way up to the top building. The two turn a corner and spend the next couple of moments examining the side. Uh-oh. Doesn't seem to be anything here. And it's not like we can reach the fire escape from there either. Suddenly, a wall in front of the swings open, revealing a man walking out into the sidewalk. Wait, guys, go back in front. I just saw someone coming out from the hall, from the wall. Where? Is there any handle or anything? The two walk back and examine the wall. I can see Ro trying to feel the surface with his paws. There are no handles at all. I just saw the wall swing out in front of where you guys were standing. The only thing that we can possibly interact with is a slot. I can't make out what Ro is referring to from this distance, but he's leaning forward and pointing towards something in the top of the air. The wall suddenly swings open as Ro pulls it open. Using the book drop as a slot. Huh. Very clever. But I'm more impressed how they made this door perfectly machined and flush with the rest of the wall. I watched the two enter inside, the door resetting back into place. What is this room? Looks like your living room with how many... What do you see? Some kind of foyer decorated as a reading room. We haven't even made it inside the actual bar yet. Although I'm tempted to go through with all the books here. I think we should reconvene with Theodore. Lauren should be here soon. Alright. I look around the shop and notice the men from earlier are now staring at me. Their gaze is fixed in my direction, one of them even pointing at me. I have a bad feeling about this. I should probably get out of here. I get up and quicken my steps to the door as they start to walk in my direction. I speed out as fast as I can, spotting Ro and Javier making their way towards me. How's the coffee? Oh, I haven't even taken a sip yet. I just got this to blend in. But I don't think it worked. I look behind me, the men gone from sight. What's the matter? Nothing. There were some men dressed in all black that were staring me down. Might be some muggers looking to start trouble. Didn't expect this place to turn out to be such a shithole so early in the night. Let's stick together from now on. I look over to Javier, who has his phone up next to his ear, off in the distance. Huh. What's Javier up to? Voicemail. Apparently Lawrence tried to reach him earlier. Why didn't he try to call her? Never mind. Anyway, we're just waiting for him to show up now. Right. He should be here any second now. He left me a voicemail saying he's coming a bit earlier. The three of us scan the streets for a few moments, searching for any signs of a gray wolf. Look who it is. Ro directs a scoff in the direction of a limousine, which has pulled up not too far from us. Lauren steps out, gestures to someone inside the car before he spots and waves us down. He has a limo to drive him around? Isn't that a bit... Don't get me started. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see you all again. Skipped the formalities. How uncouth. Lawrence gazes at me inquisitively and breaks into a smile. I heard the news, and seeing that you're here, I assume you're part of the team now, Theodore. Yeah, I am. Just temporarily. But of course. I was not expecting you to be joining us, but it matters not. The more the merrier. Thanks. More importantly, did you get the chance to read over the report I sent you? Your masterfully crafted intel vlogs? I read the first few pages. I was extremely occupied today. I will get to it as soon as I can. By the way, have you three just arrived as well? I do hope my presence wasn't overly anticipated. We got here not too long ago. We were just scouting around the location, mainly looking for the entrance, which we found. Oh yes, the book return slot. I forgot to mention that to you guys. If you're aware of the entrance, do you know how to get past the bookcase once inside? Can't say I do, but it's nothing Rudy can't solve. Who's Rudy? Ah, Theodore, that's right. You don't know about these glasses. Removing his glasses, Lawrence quickly polishes them before sliding them back on. Javier, maybe you'd like to explain. Theodore, since you were the one to skillfully craft them. Wait, Javier made those? The fox's gaze shifts between Lawrence and me, visibly pleased by our compliments. Sure. Rudy stands for Rapid Understanding and Diagnostics Yield, and it's an AI that I created and integrated into those AR glasses. I knew Javier was smart, but I didn't know he was this smart. It's capable of perceiving the world and deducing facial and environmental cues on demand. Wait, if it can do that, then why don't you have a pair, Javier? I was planning on creating a newer model for myself, but I never got around to it. It just so happened that when I created Rudy, Lawrence was around the office to test it and insisted on purchasing it from me. Hey, I know it. An investment when I see one. Now, let's walk and talk to the speakeasy, shall we? There's much to discuss. With Lawrence and Javier leading the way, I spot Rose shaking his head as we follow them. I can see why you don't like him now. You want to know why Lawrence bought those off Javier? Why? Rose's intense gaze remains fixed on Lawrence, his fangs peeking from his maw as he growls. It's because he can't think for himself. Just another spoiled brat with those damn glasses. Ro walks off without saying another word. I toss away my coffee as we enter the library, the wooden floor creaking as we all enter the cramped room filled with bookshelves. It definitely looks like a library with how everything looks. There's even a small reading desk and chair in the corner. There's no visible door that leads to another room from here. This is what we saw earlier, Theodore. Something tells me that we have to find another way hidden. We have to find another hidden door here. Can't we just wait for someone to exit from the inside like earlier? No need to wait. Rudy, help me find a way in. Lawrence puts on his glasses and scans the room, looking at every single object in sight. I see. There it is. It takes no time at all for the gray wolf motions at a particular book on the shelf right next to me. That one. I turn around and pull at the book, quickly noticing that there's no title on the cover of the spine. Oh, there's a small button there. The fox, whose head level with the book was, reaches in the gap and presses the button. The bookcase suddenly starts to slide open, revealing a long, narrow hallway. As easy as that? I recommend we split up and occupy different sections inside. We don't want to look suspicious grouped up together. I'll be on my own. You three can work it out amongst yourselves. The Grey Wolf leads ahead with Javier, strolling down the hallway with Rose shaking his head, the two of us following behind. This is where I'll leave it off for today, guys. Now that we're here. This is a library, though. I'll see you guys at the title. Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence. I assume this was made, I don't know if it was made actually before that. But it's like, those glasses are like, is it Emma or Jen? I don't know what it was. That Stark glasses that Peter had from Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man, guys. Sorry. What else was it? What else? I guess not much, but we know Javier's an airplane nerd. Like, airplanes. I don't know anyone that has model airplanes. Like, are they just for show, or like, are they like replicas, just miniature replicas of those airplanes? Where'd you put those? Do they like float in the ceiling? I'm sorry, I'm like rambling. But yeah, forgot extras. I think the next time I read, I'll be looking at this stuff. Case report? I guess not. Okay. I don't think we can do that one either. Archives. Oh. We'll be doing this one our next time. This one will probably go around next Christmas. And this one, probably around Halloween. Wow, why are these shirtless? 5 years. Oh yeah. Oh wow. What are we doing? So yeah, Lawrence. I hope Lawrence isn't like the son of someone within the company. Because if he was my son, if I tried, or no, if I wanted, he wouldn't be working. Actually, that's a lie, because if my son is a bum, he's not working, okay? Sorry. Just if he's jobless, like he has to work. Or he could be just jobless. But I think like Lawrence has money. It looks like. Like he brought a limousine to an investigation. That's okay. Ruining the whole place. What else? Yeah, we got writing by Radcanine, editing by George Squares. Oh my god, George Squares. Where have I heard that name before? I have no clue. I forgot. Is it Echo? I don't know. Was it Echo? I don't remember. Backgrounds by Siggy, Ragnarok, Radcanine, Mr. Bear C, CG's, Radcanine. Beautiful art though. Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah. If you'd like to read, oh, sorry. If you would like to read this for yourself, it'll be in the description down below. Also, they do have a Patreon, I think. Let me check. I don't know. I can't find it now. Darn. But I'm pretty sure they do have Patreon. Or Radcanine has his own. Or maybe it's a... Yeah. This is still in the making, by the way. I didn't know. Might be on, like, having some issues with the team, maybe? Or Radcanine dropped it, but I don't know. Like, no one said anything, so maybe it's still going. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else, so... If you enjoyed this video, I will say good night, good day, good morning, good afternoon. I hope you guys either sleep well or have a good day. I love you guys, and see you in the next video, whenever that is. I don't know if this will be coming out Friday or this week at all. I'm actually like, so I know I keep saying I gotta plan ahead, and I actually did. I'm planning now. Like, I've recorded, I didn't record, but I'm recording the next series. As for you all to know, it is Northern Lights. Yeah, I don't know when it'll come out. Probably like before September 2nd, something like that. I think it'll be out. No, September 3rd. It's the first video, I think. Before then, I'll probably just like. I didn't finish. Okay. So if you guys are wondering where Minotaur's Hell is, Minotaur's Hell at the moment is I'm waiting. Because I saw that they're posting art changes and stuff, like the sprites and some CGs, I think. So I thought I'm not gonna go back. I'm not gonna go back. But I do wish I read Minotaur's Hell a bit later. I know I say that because there's like 40 videos on it that are all like an hour long, some even 2 hours long. But yeah. What was I gonna say? I'm gonna wait on Minotaur's Hell for a bit, so like the CG and sprite art like updates can be seen. Because I don't know when the next chapter's coming out. I'm pretty sure it's monthly though. I think. Like the updates are monthly. So yeah. While we wait for that, I'm probably gonna record something else. And I didn't think I was already halfway done with this one, but turns out I'm like halfway done. So yeah. I'll see you guys later. Good night.